Right, the Portfolio Committee on Social Development says there's concern over parents' misuse of children's social grant money. There's claims it's been spent on gambling, clubs and buying alcohol and cell phones. Public hearings into the Children's Amendment Bill have revealed the challenges that children face. Tzaneen and Polokwane residents also raise concerns that a large number of children don't receive subsidies at early development centres and disability grants because they don't have birth certificates. And ANC NEC member Mondli Gungubele joins us now to chat about this some more. Thank you very much, Mr. Gungubele, for your time here on eNCA. Now, first of all, tell us a bit of the information that you heard from these public hearings on how children's grants are being used.
Thanks for the opportunity. Just to say we are on a journey to amend the Children's Act to respond to the court order that actually directed the state to correct the bill, because the foster care children, every 2 years they are supposed to be reassessed to check if they continue to qualify. It became clear that the renewal demand was met with a limited capacity by the state, and as a result, a lot of children lost their access to this grant. And over and above the renewal, every day, new entries are there, and then the load is big. So primarily, that's the reason. Secondly, it became clear to us, people have been making a lot of submissions, that there's a lot of aspects that we need to look at and improve the state of the safety of children. Amongst those is to look at the parental responsibility, equitable and fair access by both parents with regard to taking care of the child, whether they are divorced or not, and the long processes of adoptions which deny children who are not being protected an opportunity to get a better life, and also protecting children against marital exposure whilst they are still young. In the process of doing so, we are coming across Tzaneen, Makwarere, Tzaneen, Nyelele, and even here in Polokwane and Sekhukhune, this comment that people are misusing the children's, what to call, grant is getting stronger, and we're beginning to discuss what system should be there that can help us in a more reliable way, that the money does reach the children. It's quite worrying.
Now, is this showing any desperation, probably, Mr. Gungubele? You look at parents, for instance, who would rather buy cell phones or buy themselves clothes, etc., compared to looking after their children. Could it be an act of desperation because of our unemployment rate?
Listen, we cannot divorce the socio-economic situation from this, because for a parent to steal from the minimum that your child is supposed to get, it must take something, it must take some guts. All I want to say is that one would not divorce the socio-economic situation from this, whatever, but still it doesn't justify, because when the situation is desperate, there must be options. Must the child have it or the parent have it? Even in the worst dire circumstances, you cannot prefer yourself to your child.
What do we do then while we are amending the bill around children? What do we do to find a solution to these parents who continue to do this? Because I assume that even though government has reached the point where you're able to remove the 2-year renewal of the children's social grant ability, it doesn't take away from the fact that those parents who are probably found wanting will continue to do that. So what do we do to sort this out? Do we add a criminal act against those parents?
Surely there must be some measures that disincentivize parents from doing this. But of course, I would agree with anyone who say the socio-economic improvement is the most sustainable thing. Let me say this to you. You see, some of us have that tough background, and I still want to argue it must never justify when you make that choice that you prefer yourself. If you get 1 rand in the moment of scarcity, it cannot be that you take that rand and leave the child with nothing. It goes a long way to change even the, what shall I say, some moral degeneration of some kind. What I want to say is a multiplicity of factors. I want to agree with those who say the socio-economic situation is primary, but it doesn't mean we cannot take measures to protect the children, because the interest of the child comes first. It doesn't matter what the circumstances are.
All right. Mondli Gungubele, thank you very much, sir, for your time. He is the chairperson of Parliament's Portfolio Committee into Social Grants, and as well as an ANC NEC member.